Be thankful for the rain, so we'll have water
27th November, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay.
Very good.
I'm going to leave the recording on, and when you exit, it'll shut down.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Luke.
Have a great day.
Okay.
Amen. You too. A great day.
There will also be those who find the record of liabilities, certain sins that they are certain they do not commit. And they explain, we have not committed these acts. These hidden sins, so and so and so and so, that useful question. Written about this. Sins. Violence, practices. No one now that this there. Fellow sins in return. Should be later next. Several months, years. scary, isn't it?
Good morning, Phil.
Good morning.
Hey, welcome back, Alan. Okay, so we're yesterday we didn't meet. I had a doctor's appointment. I don't know. I was oh, maybe oh yeah, I didn't tell you. Sorry.
No, we got an email.
Email. Oh, you did get an email. Oh, okay. My wife sent you an email. I didn't know whether she did or not. Okay. Good. Baruch Hashem.
So
Okay,
Phil, did we
so
figure out where we are? Is it 115B2 or was after that? And we had a little Mark
so we are on the Thursday of last week.
Well, Phil and I were
We
looking at something yesterday and we sort of had a small problem as to where exactly we were.
oh you met yesterday. Good. Very good.
Maybe the day before, I don't know, but
Oh, okay, whatever it was.
I'm
So
I have 115B2, but I think Phil had a different page.
No, there was something that we went ahead and
Right.
I think we went back
We
after.
went ahead and back, right?
okay, so oh yes, right, right. Okay, so well let's just start from the beginning of the Gemora, which is on 115b. It's like 7 lines down from the top of the Amud. So it would be on your first art scroll page of 115b.
About pouring out the wine, right? To save the honey.
Yeah,
Where-
the Gemara asks a question. The beginning of the Gemara asks a question. Amai, lema lema hefkera kozachina.
115B1, where it starts the word Gemora.
Right.
Okay, so Alan, you want to start reading from there?
All right.
Beginning.
The Mishnah ruled that one pours out his wine to save the honey of his fellow who receives nothing more than his fee. Gemora asked May, but why did he receive so little? Limor, lay, may have fee, core, let him say to the owner of the honey, I have acquired from the honey, I have acquired the honey from a state of ownerlessness. It should be all mine. Milo Tinyor, has it not been taught in a brisa? Hooray, or your to kadei yayin, v'kadei shemen. If one was laden with jugs of oil and jugs of wine, or Shahain Mish Tabaros, and he saw that they were becoming broken, and lo your mar hooray zeh to more saw our piros sheye li b'chon BC. You should not say, I designate this oil and wine as truma and the masa on the product. What does I have in my house? Vein or nor or more, and if he did say this, Lomar, he said nothing. For example, his designation has not been rendered the wine and all truma and masa, since the wine and oil stand to be lost and regarded as ownerless, and therefore they cannot be designated as truma or masa. Likewise, in the case of our Mishnah, since the honey stands to be lost, it should be regarded as ownerless. Therefore, the one who rescued it should be permitted to keep it. Question mark.
Okay, good. Phil, you want to read the Rashi?
Okay. The Rashi, Lema Le Hefkera Zahiti, and let us say that it was that he acquired it because it was considered Hefker. Devashel is his honey. Would be all of that. Lehibid kula leibud. It's all going to get lost. The Hareini Kamatzil. It's like Kamatzil Mina Hefker. It's like he's now saved it from Hefker. The Amai, and why? Ain lo ella. It's only scharo that he only receives his wages. Kula devash lishkol. It should all of the honey he should take. The gabi chamor, and relating to the donkey. Leka lemem, not able to say hachi, how yichol lahatzil lahitzilahu. How are you able to save him? You can't. The wine case seems to work for because you can make it ownerless, but you can't really make it the donkey ownerless. It's not the same situation going to loss. It's a totally different case.
This was a difficult point over here. But what Rashi is saying is that since the honey was leaking out onto the ground, so it was basically going to waste. And at that point that it was going to waste like that, it becomes ownerless. It becomes ownerless. Presumably, the reason that it becomes ownerless is because the owner who sees it going on the ground and being lost, presumably he's miyayish. Whatever, but that's the din. That's the din that the Gemora says, and so therefore, accordingly, the one who's saving it is saying it belongs to me because it's like I saved it from a state of being hefker, something that you take something that's hefker, it now you can make an acquisition in it. He wasn't giving back the thing that belonged to the person that owned the dvash. He says, it didn't belong. The time that I saved it from it was ownerless at the time that I saved it. That's what he's saying. So therefore, he should be entitled to take the dvash, to take the honey on his own. But Rashi says in the case, the Gemara didn't ask a question about the donkey. That the Gemara didn't ask. Well, actually, the Gemara didn't say which case that we're saying this for. Rashi's explaining like this. That's interesting. I wonder if anyone says differently. Right? If you take a look at the language of the Gemara, the first words of the Gemara are Amai. Why is that so? Lemalei, let him say to him, Mehevkera Kozahinu. I have acquired it from being Hefker. What is it that he's saying that he acquired? Doesn't say clearly in the Gemara. But Rashi, right? You see that? But Rashi says it's talking about the case of the honey, and it's not talking about the case of the donkey. So Rashi explains, why is it not talking about the case of the donkey? Says Rashi, because Gabi Chamor, in regard to the donkey, he cannot say that to him. that the donkey belongs to me. It was ownerless when I saved it. The Yechola lahatzilahu, because the donkey was not going to get drowned. It was it was capable of being retrieved. Okay. That's that Rashi. Yeah. Oh. And now the next Rashi, Mishtabros and Lo Amar Klum.
Mishtabros. Again, that's broken. V'hakol neshpach, and it's all got biyachad, and it all got spilled together at once, because all things broke. And it says Lo Amar Klum, that hasn't said anything. Alma, we see cave in sins, the ibud azal, because it's going to lost. It's going lace, but lace bahu zachuyu. There isn't to him any merit. Therefore, the hefker hazu, and it's hefker.
Oh, so the Gemora is saying, if you'll ask, well, who says that he acquired it, this honey from a state of being ownerless? Who says it was ownerless? It was owned by this guy. Why can he say I acquired it from a state of being ownerless? So the Gemara says, we'll show you what it says in this brisa. What's it say in this brisa? The brisa says that this guy that was carrying these jugs of wine and oil, they broke, and now the wine and the oil is spilling onto the ground, and it's being lost. So at that point, when it's being spilled on the ground and becoming lost, the guy says, "Oh, he's a quick thinker." He says, "I'm going to take this opportunity to do something with this wine and oil." So he says, "I declare that this wine and oil that's spilling out on the ground right now, it should be regarded as being meiser trumas, the fulfillment of separating the trumas and meisers for the wine and the oil that I have in my house." So the Gemara says, the Brisa says, you shouldn't say this. You shouldn't say it. Number one, shouldn't say it. But in any case, even if he did say it, the Gemara said, the Brisa says, Lo Amar Klum, he has said nothing. Why is it that he said nothing? So Rashi's explaining over here, the reason that he said nothing is because we see that something which is going to waste on the ground like that, Rashi says, Leis Behu Zechia. The one who's declaring this, he has no zechia, he has no acquisition interest in this wine and oil, which filled onto the ground like that, even though he was the owner, he was the one that put it in the jugs. But now that it's the jugs broke and it's all spilling on the floor to waste, he's not able to say, I want to use that wine and oil to be truma and meiser for the wine and oil that I have in my house, so that my wine and oil in the house will now be chulin. This is regarded as I'm taking the tithes. No, it's not regarded as that. Why? Because this wine and oil that's spilling on the ground does not belong to you, mister. Yes, it does belong to me. No, it doesn't. You have no acquisition interest in it now whatsoever. And so therefore, we see from this brisa that in such a case, the wine and the oil is regarded as being hefker. And that's why his words that he wants it to be Truman Meiser are of no consequence. They have no effect whatsoever. And therefore, we see that something which is going to waste like that it becomes hefker. Becomes hefker. The person that used to own it has no acquisition interest in it whatsoever. Okay. And now, so now the Gemora is holding with a question. Why is it that in the Mishnah that it says that that the one who saves the dvash, he doesn't own it? Why should he not own it? So now the Gemara is going to answer this question. Amar Rebbe Yirmiyah. And Alan, are you there? Doesn't look like it. Okay, Phil. You want to read the Gemara? Amar Rebbe Yirmiyah.
Yes, so turn the page. Oma. O'clock. Oma Rebbe Yirmiyah, like Rebbe Yirmiyah said, Kisha Akal, Beit Chabad. Something about the olive press. It says here, where you kruch, you wrap around the akal, which is Quatschkos, is the netting on it. Okay, that's wrapped around that's the case, and then it says, and after that, the Hachinami here also she'akal beit chabad kruch. It's the same case. So it's just like the case, whatever the case there was wrapping the netting around the olive press. Here too, it's wrapping around the olive press. Okay. So
so he's saying that
you'd be wrapping it around a barrel of honey.
Okay, so he's so like that. It's not the case that we thought before. We thought before it's just an ordinary jug which is got a crack, and now all the honey's gonna spill on the ground and be lost. It says no, that wasn't that's not the case that the Mishnah is talking about. The Mishnah is talking about she'ke'ekel korach aleha. Fine. It's quite an ukimta to make in the Mishnah, but the Gemara feels Rabbi Yirmiyah feels there's no alternative. So let's see. We got another Rashi over here. Rabbi Yirmiyah, Be'ekel.
Yeah, the Rabbi Yirmiyah just says Lakama. Later on, he's going to say that, and Ba'akal. And then this first word, the debusha, karoch.
The dubsha is honey, the devash in Aramaic.
Okay, right. Well, it is devash, same word. So the devash is wrapped around it. The barrel, shel devash, the barrel of honey. Kashura, it's tied. The akal, and the akal is a net. The lo yishpach hakol, and all of it won't spill out because you're wrapping it around. Ella minatef ma'at. It'll only drip slowly. The leka hefker. It's not considered hefker.
So it sounds like this Ako is the some type of what do you call it, rope nets which is wrapped around the jug of honey, and so therefore the even though there's a crack in the honey, the net is holding the jug from there being too big of a crack, and therefore the honey is not really going out so much, just a little bit. Lo yishafech hakol. the whole amount of honey is not gonna spill out now from this jug. Ela menatef ma'at ma'at. It's just gonna drip out a little bit, drop at a time, and like that, like a hefker. It doesn't have a din of being holech leibud, going to waste the whole thing, and therefore there's no din hefker on the honey. And that's what the Mishnah was talking about. Very good. Okay. So we're up to Ve'im Amar Lo Amar Klum. Those are the words from the Brisa that the Gemora brought. Okay, you want to read from there in the Gemora, Phil?
Okay. We'll go back to the Gemara. We'll find the place and where it was. The
Last two words of the line. It starts with the line starts with hey 2/nun.
The im oma lo amar klum. If you said no, he hasn't said anything, the hatanya. But we did learn in this brisa, mi shaba b'derech, someone who goes on the road there, uma'ot b'yado, and he has this money in his hand. The Einom Kenegdo, that's that Anam or Nas, an Einom, and there's no one against him. Lo Yama should not say Hare Pera, these fruits, Shieshli, Betoch BT that I have in my house, Mecholim, are going to be, I'm going to redeem them, so to speak, make them whole, Al Me'ot, with this money that I have. So he's actually on the road and he's trying to make chal this thing that's in the house with money he has in his hand there.
He needs the money to redeem Ma'aser Sheni money. Oh, in other words, he's got Ma'aser Sheni peros in his house. I think Rashi's going to say that.
The Rashi says the Rashi is that it's Ma'aser Sheni. Ma'aser Sheni is Harei Peros, these fruits. Shel Ma'aser Sheni, Sheishli b'toch habayit that I have in my house. Machaluli, I'm going to make them chal with this money.
Right. So now the kedusha of the Ma'aser Sheni fruits is going to go onto the money, and the Goslin is going to have Ma'aser Sheni geld. That's what the plan of this person is. So the Brisa says Lo Yamar, he should not say this. But it says we read that next part of the Brisa, V'im Amar, if he says it though.
Wait a second, we didn't stop before that. We just read the Rashi before that. But Imar, but if he does say that, Devarim Kayam, his words are good. If he does say that. It's kind of like don't say it, but if you say it, it works.
Yeah, why shouldn't you say it?
Okay, why shouldn't you say it? Does it say the reason next? One of the next thing in the Gemara. Hachi b'mayaskin. What are we dealing with? But you shechol seal that you are able to save the honey this way. If you can solve it at the outset.
Oh, so now the Gemora the Gemora is asking. The Gemora is pointing out that you see from this case with the Goslin taking the money from this guy, that even though he's not supposed to say it, I would imagine the reason is because we don't want to cause this poor Goslin to be in violation of using this money, which should be taken up to Yerushalayim and eaten and spent on food in Yerushalayim and eaten in Kedusha B'Tara. We don't want him to use it for the wrong reason. I would assume that's the reason why we don't want this guy to say this. But if he does say it, it works, and meaning, what does it mean that it works? That the pairs that he has in his house are now the Kedushas Meiser Sheni goes off them, and it does go onto the coins. And now the Goslin is got the problem. But the question would be, of course, over here is, why should it work? Why is this case different than the case of the honey that's going lost because it's got a crack in it? So that's what the Gemara's answer is over here. Hachav Mayaskinen. The Gemara is next line of the Gemara. The Gemara answers. Hachav Mayaskinen.
Yeah, we answered it. What are we dealing? I said what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the case when you can save it.
Sheyachol lahatzil.
If you have to save it, you should save it lechila.
What's he gonna do? This guy's got a. It says on us, Kenegdo. That means we're talking about a guy that's got a weapon. What's he gonna? Maybe this guy's a black belt karate. I don't know. How's he able to save it from this guy that has a gun? That's what the Gemara says. Yochel Hatzil. Okay. All right. That's what Gemara says. To say these words and that they will be effective is if we say that this money that he has in his hands is Yochel Hatzil. He could save it from this armed bandits. How is it he gonna do that? Whatever he's gonna. That's what we say, and therefore it's the money is not considered to be lost to him, and therefore it still belongs to him. He has a zechiyah in that money, and therefore, since he has the ownership interest in that money still. So he'll be able to use it to redeem the payers of Meiser Sheni that he's got in his house onto the money. That's the way it works. Oh, well, the Gemara is going to ask our question. If it's true that he's able to save the money from this guy, so then why Gemara asks, so then why did we say that really?
Why do you have that lachola that don't save it? That you shouldn't say do it. Why mention it if you could do it anyway?
If he's able to save it, so then it is his when he's doing it, and why should he not be able to say it then? Oh, I think Gemara answers.
Rashi answers with one question. Beat me. It's a surprising statement.
Lo yomar. Well, now, so the Gemara answers. The Gemara answers because
He can do it with a faraway hand. You could do it, but not being on top of it. A distance.
With great difficulty. With very
With he
very
could
not easy. It's not going to be easy to keep this money away from this armed bandit. Not so easy.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's what the Gemara says. Shita Mekubetza says, and therefore, if it would be the case, in a different situation, let's say, he doesn't have an armed bandit, but he's a different situation where it would be that he could save the money lo it wouldn't be such a pressed and a difficult pressure packed situation to be able to save the money. So then in that case, then even lechatchila, he would be able to redeem. He could make his declaration of redemption of chilul, and we wouldn't even say that he should not do it. We would say go right ahead. If it would be the case that he would not be able to save it at all, it's just like the case of the honey, without the net around the jug, it's just going to go lost. So then, even if he would say it, it's not going to be to any avail. It won't help.
I'm just looking.
Okay. So in other words, there's three different categories of situations that the Shita Kabetzis has laid out over here that come out from the Gemara. Okay. And all right, so we got, that's what comes out. That's what comes out. Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Oh, I see that Lou is back. Hi, Lou.
Hi, yeah, I made it back. I've been here for only a couple minutes, just listening.
Okay, yeah, we got so we got up to Kol Hecha de Ika Hefseda, the Chatchila Lo Yomar. That's what we got up to. Okay, very good. To be continued, Bezrat Hashem.
Okay,
Everybody
thank
have
you.
a great day.
Okay. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.